Welcome back to the Chit Chat and Crochet podcast with me, Stephanie Mitchard. I'm sitting down on the floor in front of my fire and we're just going to have a mellow little chat today because I don't know if you're feeling like I'm feeling, but I'm kind of really feeling this Halloween hangover. Today I've just taken down all of my Halloween decorations, putting my little rotten pumpkins into the bin and I just want to have a little sit and just feel cozy today because I don't want to feel like autumn has left, because autumn is still here. I'm not quite ready to fully get into like the Christmas spirit, but I do feel like Christmas is upon us and I'm really excited for it this year. But I still want to kind of bask in that kind of amber glow of autumn, and that is what we're going to do today. We're going to just sit and have a little cozy chat while we crochet. So if you've never ever been to my channel before, my name is Stephanie Mitchard. I crochet, I craft, I do lots of different types of things. And this is our little corner of the internet where we do all things crochet and all things crafty. I say our little corner of the internet because we have an amazing community. This has been one whole year of uploading for me, which I'm so proud of myself for. I have uploaded every single week consistently since the first week in November of 2024. And I just want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you who have come along on this journey, because the last thing I thought that was going to happen from uploading videos was creating a proper community, which is basically what we've all done. It's not just me. I'm just making the videos. You guys show up every single week and support me doing this. So thank you so much to everyone who's come along the last year and started to build this community. It's absolutely amazing. We started a little Facebook group as well, which is the Mitchard Mateys Craft Club, so we can keep in touch in between our videos. The videos, they go up as a premiere, so on Wednesdays on the Chit Chat and Crochet podcast, the premiere is at 7 p.m. with the live chat, and Sundays we have our craft project of the week, and that's at 10 a.m. and again 10 a.m. for the live chats. We've also got a Discord as well, and all of this I'm going to link down in the notes below so you can go and find where to join in between those videos. Now, I'm never ever going to put my content behind a paywall. It's just not something that I want to do. I just think regardless of your budget, you should be able to come and experience and join in with all the content that's happening on here. But if you do want to support in any way, we have our membership, which is $2.99 a month. For that, what you get is a shout out in every video, you get priority responses to comments, and you get a little badge next to your name saying that you support the channel. So I just want to take this opportunity now to thank Wendy, to thank David, to thank Emma, to thank Claire, to thank Emma, to thank Tedi, and to thank Liz. Thank you so much for supporting me every single month. We also have the coffee app for one-off payments as well. And if you want to support the channel in a really easy way, commenting and sharing, because what that does, by commenting on the video, by liking the video, it pushes me towards the algorithm and makes the videos more popular. But thank you so much to every single person who has supported me, even just making it to the end of the videos. It really just has been so magical just watching the channel grow over the last year. It's just been absolutely amazing. Now a quick message from this week's sponsor. I feel like my glasses are part of who I am. I think it's definitely part of how you obviously perceive me. I have this very specific look with copper hair, green glasses, and I feel like that is a real kind of extension of myself. And I think it's so important when you wear glasses that they're an extension of your personality. And sometimes it's so hard to find the right pair of glasses. This is why I was so excited when I got a parcel off Vooglam. So Vooglam are an online opticians and they have got an extensive range of different glasses. The best thing about it is all these glasses are so affordable and they arrive really fast as well. So let's have a look at what they've sent me. So the first pair of glasses that Vooglam have sent me are these amazing glasses called Coexist. I love the fact that they have this gorgeous little sparkly design. Look at that, aren't they gorgeous? And what's also really cool as well is they have rubber grips, so it helps keep the glasses on your face. I can't ask for anything more for the pair of glasses. One of the big problems that I have with my glasses currently is that they do have a tendency to slide and move around my face, which drives me absolutely up the wall. These glasses, there is no moving them. If you are an active person, if you go running, if you're going to the gym, these would be absolutely amazing for you. What's really cool as well is the fact that they are so bold and so vibrant. You're not having to compromise on your style. I really love just how bright they are. They're just giving like Ghostbusters. I'm obsessed. I love them. Now, the next glasses that they sent me are the Essadoa in black. I wanted to get something. I wanted to look at their best sellers, and this is one of their best sellers. And I totally understand why. Look how fantastic these glasses are. They are so bold. They are so vibrant. And what's really cool as well is this isn't actually white going round. This is actually mint green. How cool is that? Aren't they fabulous? I love how bold they are. It's kind of given like 60s mod kind of vibes. I was really, really struggling. I didn't know whether I wanted to get the yellow ones because they do these in yellow with a red inside, which I kind of felt like was more me, but I wanted to try something a little bit different. That's the beauty of Vooglam. Because they are so affordable, you don't have to compromise. You can get multiple pairs for the price of one pair of glasses that you would in your normal opticians. Stunning, stunning. I just love that contrast, and especially with the red going around that inside, it really brings out the colours in my hair, which I really, really appreciate. Stunning. Now, again, I kind of went off script for the next pair of glasses that I chose, because again, I'm not having to spend an arm and a leg to be able to get a pair of really cool, funky glasses. So these are the Naya in pink. Oh, aren't they absolutely amazing? I love all of the confetti, the little stars, the little circles. They are so playful. What I was worried about with these glasses is I thought to myself, when I put these on, am I going to be distracted by the design? And I'm completely not, because of that clear frame. It's so easy to see. It almost kind of feels like you're not wearing glasses. So cool. I love that bold pink edge as well. But again, pink is not normally a colour that I would actually go for. This is quite out there for me. And I feel that, again, that's what's really great about Vooglam. You can take these risks. I also love the fact that they have so many funky, fun glasses to choose from, where I feel like in your local opticians, it's very, very difficult to find a statement like lens. And I think that all of our personalities, we have lovely, bold, distinct personalities. I feel like Vooglam have got a pair of glasses for everyone, no matter how demure or bold your personality is. Now, the next set of glasses are very, very bold. These are the Yakima in animal print. I am actually obsessed. I feel like I'm living my Bet Lynch fantasy in these glasses. Are they not beautiful? I love the way that they go up, so fab. That gorgeous kind of cat eye winged, well, they call it a butterfly kind of wing style glass. What's really cool as well is you can see that they are glittery. Not only are you getting a bold statement glass with the leopard print, you're also getting that funky design on top of it. All these glasses are so lightweight as well. They are huge and they're oversized. I love a huge oversized glass. But what I don't like is when you feel like you have something on your face and you feel like you're being weighed down. None of these glasses have made me feel that way. So which ones are your favourite? I am absolutely obsessed with the neon green Coexist. I love them. I love the Naya. I think they're amazing. I love them all. I can't decide, but that's the best thing, because they're so affordable, you don't have to decide. So use my link and code, which is in the description box down below, and you can go and get your own pair of unique glasses from Vooglam. So what am I working on right now? I am actually working on some granny square gloves. I keep getting shown these on Pinterest, and I thought, you know what? I want to make some little crochet granny square gloves and just see what they're like. I have just finished a set of gloves, which I will show you in this week's video coming up on Sunday. So you'll have that to look forward to. But I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do some little granny squares. Bit of slow crafting today. Something I don't need to kind of do real concentration on. Because after that Frankenstein jump, oh my goodness. I think I just need to have a little kind of chill and things where I don't have to necessarily concentrate on all that much. So that is what I'm making. The wool is actually, do you remember when I went to Abercans a few months ago and I got talking to one of the staff there and he gave me a little promotion pack from Style Crafts? This is actually the wool from Style Craft. It's a recycled wool. I think it's called Recycle Me. And it's been sat there in the cupboard. The little 20-gram balls. It's just been sat there in the cupboard and I've been like, what am I going to do with them? And then I kept seeing these like little granny square gloves and was like, okay, that looks like a good project to actually do that. So I think the original use for these was actually a knitted project and it was going to be like knitted mittens. So I'm making my own little crochet version. I chose out of the pack, majority of the wools that were in the pack are kind of pastel-y kind of colours. These were like the boldest ones. So that is what I'm working on. I keep thinking about like Christmas gifts and what I'm going to like make for people this year. Liz did this really amazing thing over on Instagram a few weeks back where she did a poll and she put pictures up of different crochet things being like, would you like this? Would you not like this? It was so good, her poll. So maybe that's something like, you know, if you're thinking about making crochet gifts for people, putting a poll out there with different images being like, I don't know, like a scarf, you know, a book sleeve, putting it out there to like, you know, the people that follow you, friends and family, and see and get like feedback back. So I thought that would be quite cool. It's been quite a hectic week. Obviously Jackson has been off because it's been half term and we all went on holiday. It was absolutely lovely. We went up to Grasmere. So it wasn't just me and Red and Jackson. It was my sister Ali, her husband Matt, their two girls, Clara and Lily, and my mum and dad as well. And it was so much fun. We stayed in Grasmere at this gorgeous house. It was so nice. It was massive. It was like really, really cool. I'm trying to think what it was called. A bridge house, I think. I'll put the details down below so you can all go and have a little look. There's a hotel attached to it as well, and the house is actually in the grounds of the hotel. But the views were absolutely beautiful. You were looking out at the fells. In the distance, you could see the lake. There were sheep as well, and there was a little stream that ran down the side of the house as well. It was so, so cute. And it was just so nice, like Jackson being able to play with his cousin and just having a little run around all the time. The kids just kept themselves occupied this whole time that we were there. I just realised I made a mistake. The last row I'm actually doing singles, not doubles. But yeah, they were just like going around, having the best time, and we were all just like having the best time, and it was great. So obviously staying in Grasmere, we had to go to Sarah Nelson's gingerbread shop. So today I've got a little snack and I've got some of the Sarah Nelson gingerbread. It's just so gorgeous. They keep the recipe for this in a vault, and it's not like normal gingerbread. It's kind of almost like a hybrid cake, but also gingerbread. And the gingerbread is like famous like all over the world. But they do stuff for like Thanksgiving and stuff. They literally have people from all over the world. They ship this gingerbread out everywhere. Me and Red are actually thinking about driving up to Grasmere before Christmas to see if we can get like a hamper, because obviously the stuff that we buy now is not going to last. We also bought some rum butter as well that they make. Jackson got some fudge. But today we're just going to sit here and have our little gingerbread with a cup of tea and do some crochet and hang out with you guys. So I'm feeling very, very cozy today. I'm feeling very relaxed and very, very cozy. One thing I really wanted to talk about today was the new knitting program on Channel 4. It's called The Game of Wool, Britain's Best Knitter. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a knitter, I crochet, but at the same time I'm here supporting my fellow knitters, and I am going to sit there and I'm going to fully indulge and obsess about all things knitting with this. I watched it this morning because I didn't get a chance to last night. So I sat in bed and I watched it because Jackson is not going to watch it. Red is not going to, not that he wouldn't watch it, he would watch it with me. But, you know, there's other things that we can watch together as a couple. So this is like my little thing. So I sat in bed because I got up really, really early. And I sat there and I watched it on my phone. I just had my earphones in, just like watching it. It was so good. Oh my days. If you haven't watched it yet, I cannot stress this enough. It comes out on Sundays, so you've got time to go get this on the catch up. It's so fab. So you have 10 contestants that have all come together to the knitting barn, and they all come in, and what happens is kind of like, fashion shows or like a baking shows. You get given a task, they all come together, they have to make a task. So each week there's going to be like a solo challenge and then a group challenge where the team have to like work together. Each week one of them gets awarded like best knitter, and then somebody gets cast off. Which I thought that was such a great way of being like, instead of saying like eliminated, then being cast off, because like you're cast off. It's so good. So Tom Daly is the host of the show. He is not the judge, so he is just like there to basically just be cute and be about and to be like, I'm the host, I'm talking to everybody, woo. The actual judges are two women that have been in the fashion industry and are known for making high couture pieces in knitwear. You have Di Gilpin and Sheila Greenwell. These women have worked for designers like Vivienne Westwood and Chanel. These women are at the top of their game. So these are the ladies that are going to be actually making the decisions and making those judgments on the pieces. The first challenge was to make a tank top. Now, just for the record, I'm going to be talking about spoilers. So if you haven't watched this, I'm going to put a little marker here and you'll know when to skip ahead, because I'm going to talk full depth. I'm going to talk about who won. I'm going to talk about who got cast off. So if you don't want to know any of this, skip to this point. I don't know why I told you to skip. There is no reason to skip, because I talk about this the whole video. I would skip this video until you've watched and caught up, and then come back and have a little chat with us. So like I was saying, the very, very first challenge is a vest challenge. So everyone has got to make a vest, and I'm talking a full garment in 12 hours. 12 hours, can you believe it? Like I was just like, whoa, when they were talking about it, I was like, oh my days. Like I don't know how they were doing that. So the theme is basically like who you are, like the definition of you. It's taking the Fair Isle style. The key elements that they want is they want repeating periods and repeating like motifs that basically give them a sense of who you are, which I really love, because I think that's like a fun first challenge as well, because we get to know the contestants and we get to know a little bit about their backstory, but in like a fun, creative way. It was fun in the programme as well, because Tom Daly actually kind of goes into a little bit about the Fair Isles and talking about like where that actually like comes from, like that style. They're going to have to work as well from the bottom up, and they're also working in like around, and they have to do this in chunky wool, because honestly they've got this like 12 hours. So some of the makers were kind of put off with working with a chunky wool, because it's not something that they normally do. I mean, like that's something that I probably would be like put off by, because I don't use, like the heaviest I probably use would be like an Aran. Like this is like an Aran weight wool. That would be like the heaviest that I would use. I don't tend to go above a 5mm hook, and in one of the challenges, especially the group challenge, they were using 20mm hooks. That's 2 centimeters. Think how big that is. That is basically, where's my little hook gone? That is basically 4 times the size of that, which is absolutely crazy. Like, I don't even know how they were doing it. So the first contestant that we meet is Holger. Holger, he is from Germany. His background is in tailoring. He works in the fashion industry. Loved what he was wearing as well, with like his little dicky bow, and he is so sassy. Any chance Holger gets, he makes a comment about the chunky wool and about how unhappy he is. I love this one quote that he said where he was basically talking about expressing himself, and he was like, asking me to express myself in chunky wool is like asking a vegetarian to express themselves with meat. I just thought he was brilliant, and he has such great one-liners. He does this gorgeous red and yellow and blue design, and it was inspired by this emotional support chicken that he made. Well, he said it's very like me, a nonchalant chicken, which I just think this dude is so funny and I love him to bits, and I can't wait to see more of him on the show. The next contestant we meet is Isaac. Isaac has knitted since he was 10, and I love the fact he talks about like making garments for like his mum and his granddad. So he has decided to do this repeat motif of a goose because his mum and his girlfriend call him a silly goose, and his family are from Sierra Leone. So what he has is these peries that are in the colours of the Sierra Leone flag, which I really, really love. So you've got this cute nickname mixed in with like heritage as well, which I think is so fab. We then meet Gordon, who is a Scottish cruise ship singer. So he's doing this traditional oxo motif. So again, keeping that like traditional kind of Scottish feel to the garment. But then he's also gonna do peries in piano keys. So given his love of music, putting that through the garment. He is the only contestant that is gonna be steeking his garment. I didn't know what steeking was. It sounds terrifying. So what you do is you actually cut into the garment, and he basically like cut armholes. Madman. Obviously, if you do this a lot, I think, you know, obviously that's like, you know, to me as a crocheter, that seems absolutely nuts and mental. I can't even like imagine doing that. But it seems very, very interesting. A lot of the contestants, and including the judges, were very apprehensive about him doing this because using chunky wool, apparently that's like harder to do, but he pulls it off, and I'm like, you know, you go off, Gordon. It's like absolutely amazing watching him doing it as well. Everyone in the room was like on like tenterhooks, like, oh, it was like proper like dead dramatic when they were like cutting the garments. Oh, it was so fab. He says that he's only been a public knitter for a few years, and that makes me so sad. He said he was like sat on his cruise ship and he was like knitting, and this horrible woman walked over to him and like looked at him and gave him a dirty look and basically said to him that like maybe he should be doing a puzzle because it's more manly. Like, how rude? Like, how rude? Like, what is a definition of like manliness? Why can men not knit? It's like, I'm sorry, like, what are you talking about? Why is it okay for like little girls to like play with like, you know, boys' toys, but it's not okay like vice versa? It makes no sense to me, like, at all. And I wish that more men did more crafts like this, because they're like genuine skills. And I love the fact that in this program you have a man who is a Royal Marine, who I'll talk about in a little bit, and now he's a builder, and he actually knits. I am just gonna go close my door because I've got my washing machine on. That's better. So yeah, I love the fact that with this program they have found people that aren't just like, you know, stereotypical people that you might imagine who would knit, just like, you know, your little old granny sitting in the corner with her, you know, her white permed hair, knitting a cardigan in a pastel colour for a baby. This is very contemporary, not your grandma's knitting show. What I really love, Isaac's response to Gordon when he talks about someone challenging his masculinity when he's knitting, is if that somebody didn't like him because he was a bloke that knits, that he's just got a lot of other things that he should be worrying about. That's not one thing that's going to be bothering him or he's going to be worrying about at any point. And I love the fact that he kind of like affirmed that to Gordon, to be like, you know, so what? Like, there's other things in the world to be worrying about, rather than someone, you know, panicking if you're like knitting. Let them have their opinions. Tracy. So Tracy is the next person that we meet. Her vest is going to be inspired by nature and trees. She believes that everybody is like born a seed, and then everybody kind of grows and evolves into a tree. So she's going to be incorporating tree motifs and scissors, like the scissors pruning the trees to basically form you as you go through life. She also talks about embellishing. She is the only person that talks about embellishing the garment. We then meet Dipti. And Dipti is a mum and she works in a library and she knits to unwind. She's going to incorporate hearts and a little bunny. The bunny is basically for his son and it's his son's favourite stuffed toy. And it sounds like this stuffed toy has kind of like, is a very big influence within the home. The bunny has his own birthday and it's like a very big deal. So I love the fact that she's kind of incorporating like his son's joy within the garment. And I love the fact that it kind of shows like how much like his son means to her, because she's talking about like this project is about like identity and who you are. And I love the fact that like that was the thing that she thought of to do. We then meet Stephanie. Now, obviously we have the same name, but girl, I love her. I love her so much. Oh, her vibe. She's a life coach. She's really kind of like, she's got a very bubbly personality. She seems like she'll be an absolute scream at like a craft night. Her vest is going to incorporate game nights with her daughters, which love that. Knitting needles, and then she has like cups of tea. So like all things that kind of like give her joy. She's also going to be doing a roll neck collar, which the judges seem to be very, very excited about. Then we have Meadow, and Meadow is an 18-year-old fashion student. Her grandmother taught her how to knit, and one thing I thought was really, really beautiful was she actually has her grandmother's knitting needles. The pattern that she chose as well was a daisy, which is like her grandmother's like favourite flower. And she's also incorporating like a checkerboard Peries as well. The colours that she's chose as well are very bright and very, very vibrant. And she also mentions that she has autism. Now, Simon, he is the ex-Marine turned builder. His garment is going to be inspired by the colours of the Royal Marine. So there's Peary patterns. They're all going to be in like those Royal Marine colours. And the motifs, he's got a trowel to kind of give a nod to his current career. And also he's going to have egg dishes and timers, which discuss his IVF journey with him and his wife. Which again, I think that's a really lovely kind of way of kind of just showing something that he's gone through. And I think you kind of get this very rounded off idea of the things that have defined him. Next we have Lydia. Oh, Lydia, she works in the charity sector. She's got twin 3-year-old girls and I love her vibe. I like her vibe because she's kind of like say it like it is kind of girl. There's one point she just goes, I tend to knit for me, I don't knit for my twins. And I'm like, girl, yes, you have so much time. You have so much time that's free for you. This is your thing. You give everything else to your girls and this is yours. This is your little thing. You make all your garments for you, girl. You go off. She just got a really like lovely vibe. I just think she's just boss. She was really inspired by her wedding dress, which is in a Kenti print because she's Ghanaian. So not only is she incorporating like the colours, she's also incorporating a lot of Ghanaian symbols as well, which I think is really fab. And I think you do really get a feel of like her identity. And she shows this picture of her and her husband on her wedding day and it's just gorgeous. Isla is next. And Isla, again, I just love her vibe. I think my favourites in no order are literally Holgar, Stephanie, Lydia and Isla. Isla's been knitting for over 20 years. And she actually works for a ferry company, which again, me working in a maritime adjacent kind of career, it's something that I kind of like vibe with. And I love the design that she chooses. Not only is she a boat girl, she's also a dog girl as well. Her beloved dog, Brillo, is one of the motifs. And she has this idea to do like a vintage kind of like necktie for the collar. She's very interested like in history. And one of the things she says that she really loves about her job is she has the privilege of going to a lot of different places that are steeped in a lot of history to do with fibre arts like wool and knitting and crochet. One thing that I really, really liked about her was that she said that she is a very quiet person, but she wants to be loud with her knitting, which I just think is like so fab. I really love that. So this was actually like kind of like anxiety inducing to watch, to be honest with you. These guys have got 12 hours to make a full garment. And they keep like going around to like the different contestants and kind of going like, are you getting on? Just like, we've got 4 hours left. Holgar, he's freaking out because he's thinking, oh my days, I'm not going to finish this. You've got Dipti when it's like 1 hour left. Tom Daly tries to engage her in conversation and she's just like, no. Which I'm like, like, girl. Love the fact that she didn't stop. And she was just like, no, I don't have time for this right now, Tom Daley. Go away. Poor Gordon. Poor Gordon. When they called the 1 hour mark, he said something like, I've still got like 16 rows to go. Which, how terrifying would that be? It must have been so anxiety inducing to be in that room. Because at the end of the day, these are slow crafts. These are slow crafts. These are things that we put our heart and our souls into. And then you're basically putting it out there to be judged. At the end of the day, it's just fun and it's just a game. But still, I can imagine it being, when you're in the moment, it being very, very anxiety inducing. And it kind of probably feels like all stakes, like all or nothing. So the judging happens and they're talking the whole way about, oh, this is going to go on a mannequin. Well, not in this round, because Tom Daley, he has decided that he is going to model these garments himself. So Tom Daley's there, like, whipping his top off in the middle of the armbar, just like, give me all your, like, little knitted vests. Like, calm down, Tom Daley, calm down. Although he did look amazing in every single one of them. So the first to be judged is Lydia's. Di actually turns around and says that she could imagine somebody wearing her garment down the catwalk. Like, how much of an amazing compliment is that? Can you imagine somebody saying that about, like, one of your pieces? Like, somebody who's, like, worked for people like Vivienne Westwood. Like, wow. Like, honestly, like, such an amazing compliment. Another big comment they say is the fact that she really took on the brief and really, like, understood the brief. And they really, really like the fact that she incorporated her heritage into the garment. The next to be judged was Stephanie. They were really, really impressed with her stitch work and the roll collar. Obviously, they were excited about the roll collar at the start, and obviously that paid off for her. Everything that they say, they don't really go hard and really kind of like slate any of the garments, which I thought was like quite kind. I think if the show was probably made a few years ago, there probably might have been tears. But I think now, I feel like people are a lot kinder. Meadow was judged next, and one thing that they really, really liked was how contemporary it felt, especially with her choices of colour. They really, really, really liked it. Simon was then judged. They comment on, like, the egg timers and how nice it is that he actually incorporated that story within the garment. Now, the next person to be judged is our Gordon. Poor Gordon didn't finish the garments. So this poor garment is, like, sort of sat there unfinished. They love the design though. They love that they said that it just speaks Scotland. And they both were really, really drawn to, like, his ideas. They comment obviously on the steeking process, about the risk of that, the fact that it is a chunky yarn, but obviously, you know, the fact that he could do it, it's like, you know, it's good, it's done. And at the end, Gordon talks about, like, the pressure and the stress and kind of compares it to, like, his work. And he's like, I'm not even getting paid for this. And I'm, like, sat here, like, dead stressed out. Poor Gordon. Tracy's was next. And Tracy, obviously, she talked about embellishments, didn't she? She put all of these, like, mad tassels going, like, right across. As soon as that garment goes on Tom Daley, he's there giving it the shimmies. I absolutely love the fact that she embellished this. And it kind of made me think about, like, my work and being like, right, how can I jazz like my work up? Like, that is, like, really, really fun and really, really cool. Now, Isla shows hers. Di cried. She cried because of how beautiful it was. I love this vest. Like, I get why Di cried. It's absolutely stunning. They comment on, like, her technique, her stitch work. She actually did a porthole in the back of the jumper, obviously kind of giving a nod back to, like, her career within, like, ferry work. And that really beautiful, like, little scarf tie on the vest, like, it's made me, like, want to do, like, a little tie like that on a jumper. It's gorgeous. Then it was Isaac's turn. Isaac's vest was absolutely fab. One thing that they talked about was the fact that he did embroidery on the beaks of the geese, and he used a technique called the ladder back, and they were very impressed with his use of that. but he ran out of time and he didn't actually do any of the ribbon on like the neckline or like the arms. So kind of puts points down really. Holgar was next. They enjoyed the colours of Holgar's, but again, he didn't have time to finish the ribbon. What he wanted to do was an Italian bind off. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Sounds fancy though, and would have loved to have seen it. Now, poor Dipti. Dipti didn't finish hers properly either. She made the head too small, so Tom Daly tried to try it on, and he couldn't get it over his head. Oh God, poor Dipti. Like, they did like a little, you know, confessional talking to her afterwards, and she literally sounded like she was gonna cry. I mean, like, I would be exactly the same, poor Dipti. So that was the individual challenge, and then they went on to like a group challenge. So basically the two groups got separated into two. The first team was Gordon, Tracy, Dipti, Isaac and Meadow. And then the second team, Simon, Lydia, Stephanie, Holgar and Isla. What they have to do is they have to do a sofa cover. So they're both teams are given a sofa each, and they have to work collectively to basically make a ginormous sofa cover within 10 hours. One of the briefs was basically to keep like a continuity within all of the works. Holgar has this idea to basically do like a gradient in the couch. So basically have like big long stripings, like 2 meter long stripings. Each person makes a big long stripe and then they end up stitching it all together, and it's like a colour gradient going from one end to the other. I really love what they ended up doing. Stephanie had this idea of doing like a ribbon like in between all of the different stripes. Turned out gorgeous, looked absolutely beautiful. The other team was a little bit more ambitious. They decided, well, Isaac talked about doing like a sunset, so he took control of the sunset. And then there was like, I think it was Tracy who turned around and was like, oh, why don't we do like, you know, like beach? So like they had like the seat bit was like, you know, the beach, and then the arms were like, I think the sky, and it was all stuff to do with like a seaside like scene. Obviously the yarn that they were using was like super chunky. So obviously Holgar was not happy about it. Anytime he can, he's making the little snarky remarks. He made this remark though that proper made me nearly wet myself, where they were talking about like, obviously they're doing it in stripes, and Simon says to Holgar, is it straight? And then Holgar kind of just goes, what do I care about straight? Everyone was laughing. Oh God, that dude, honest to God, like I hope, I've not even looked, I hope he has a YouTube channel or something, because I need to see more of this man. Like, he is absolutely hilarious. I think like team 2, who like Holgar's team, I think they worked really well together. There was a real kind of unity between the team, where team 1, Isaac's team, they seemed a little bit more fragmented, probably because the design that they chosen was quite ambitious. I think both teams did really well, but in terms of keeping like the continuity, team 2, when they're doing like the rows, or when they're doing their stripes, they all use the same stitch, so it all did have like a uniform kind of feel to it. Whereas team 1, they were all kind of doing their own thing, and there wasn't necessarily a continuity between like the patterns themselves. Continuity within the theme, but not necessarily like the actual formation, if that makes sense. Team 2 ended up winning. They also finished first, and one thing that I thought was like, it kind of really speaks to Holgar's character, is as soon as they finished, he was like, right, let's go and finish, let's go help them. And the whole team went over and helped team 1 finish their couch. And I think that just really speaks to like his character, of what kind of person he actually is. And I just like to see the fact that, you know, crafters, we are kind of people that kind of stick together. And I really love that we had that visual of that. So now it is time to talk about who the knitter of the week was and who was getting cast off. Now the knitter of the week, I think pretty obviously is Isla. I mean, for Christ's sake, she made Di cry. So if you're making one of the judges cry with the beauty of your knitting, you're probably gonna win, aren't you, love? So she got given a little sheet badge that she had on. It just reminded me of like RuPaul's Drag Race when they have their repeater badges. They've got like these ginormous, like big gaudy kind of like sheeps, which are like crazy. Like, couldn't they just have like a cute little pin made? Like, oh my days, just no, ginormous sheep. And unfortunately, the contestant that got cast off was Gordon. Poor Gordon. I really liked Gordon's vibe, and like, not that I want anyone else of them to, like, any of the contestants to go, but like, oh, poor Gordon. I would have loved to have seen like more of like what he could make. So I'm not being funny, that steaking situation, I didn't even know what that was, and now I'm like I need to see people like doing it. I'm obsessed. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know what steaking was. So thank you, Gordon. So next week they're gonna be doing knitwear for dogs, which I really thought was really funny because on one of the previews, Lydia just goes, "I don't like dogs." just saying it like it is. There's our Lydia, just saying whatever she wants. Love it so much. I am so excited for that though, because I really want to make Tilly another little jumper. I made her a jumper with some of the leftover Celestial Granny squares. It's so cute. I took her into Liverpool a few weeks ago to go meet a friend for coffee, and the two of us were like on the train, and I was wearing my autumnal vest and she had on a Celestial jumper, and the amount of people that commented on it was like so cute. So now I'm like, okay, I need to make Tilly like a full crochet wardrobe. What do you reckon, Tills? I hope she's showing in the frame. I think she will be. What do you reckon, Till? Would you like a whole crochet wardrobe, baby? Tilly, would you like a crochet wardrobe? She's gorgeous. So yeah, very excited for next week. And then another thing that they're going to be doing is a theme of the 80s, which again, I'm just hoping that someone just goes like full Dynasty. Simon said he did love a big puffy sleeve, so I'm hoping that someone does something over the top. I can't wait. So I thought what we'd do every week while this program is on is we'd sit and review the episodes. What do you think? Because I really, really loved it. And watching people knitting actually got me really inspired. Not that I knit, and it's like, maybe I should learn to knit. I keep saying I need to learn to knit, don't I? And one thing I really appreciated with this was they actually talk about the techniques and they explain the techniques, which I found really, really useful and really, really helpful. So that's what I've got for you this week, talking about this amazing knitting show. I'm going to be, on Sunday, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about a yarn review. So when I went to the yarn festival in Wales in Mould, I met an amazing dyer called Idris Emporium. And I bought this yarn and literally made a Sophie scarf within 2 days. I kind of just did it from like my head, because I just didn't buy a pattern, because I thought, okay, so it's a triangle and then we just carry on going. And it's kind of like an enlarged Sophie scarf. Then halfway through, I was like, I love this Sophie scarf so much, I want gloves. So then I contacted Idris and had them send me another ball of the wool, and I've actually made some gloves. I didn't film the process of making the gloves then. So basically what I'm going to do is do like a show and tell of like, look at these gloves, aren't they amazing? Look at this wool, isn't it amazing? And then you can tell me whether you want me to do a full tutorial on the little gloves. You can let me know. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you watched this program. Please comment down below. Tell me who your favourites are. Tell me which one did you think was the best? And which sofa did you prefer? Team 1, the sunset, or did you prefer Team 2, the gradient? Let me know. Remember, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you like, make sure you give us a subscribe. And if I don't see you on Sunday for our craft project of the week, I will see you next week in the Chit Chat and Crochet podcast. See you later, guys. Bye.